Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm feeling like nervous. Like we haven't done this in a while.
I know, me too. I feel like I haven't talked to you all month because we haven't.
No, we haven't. We've been a bit preoccupied.
A little bit busy to say the least.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so what the heck have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. We had the two events, and I think I talked a little bit about them the last time we had our live. So we had the two events, and then it's just been a ton of editing those videos. Like each one took me about like 6 to 8 hours, and so it was just so much editing, and then yeah, releasing all of that and kind of dealing with my health in the meantime, because that started to fail me pretty pretty badly. So I think the stress and everything of doing all of this was a lot, and yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. What about you, Jessica?
Um, well, I want to I want to circle back once I'm done to your health and the toll that this has taken and what you've kind of been doing behind the scenes to keep yourself going.
Yeah.
Um, so as we all know, I've been working on the 5K. I've been posting warrior stories. It's been a really busy month. This is the first year that I have advocated for TN, believe it or not. Um, it's exhausting. It takes it out of you. It really does. And I really have a different appreciation for what you've been doing for all these years since you were 15. I mean, this really takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of determination. It takes a lot of willpower to keep yourself going, to keep everybody else motivated, to not let people know that you're struggling behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I'm really proud of you, and I've told you this offline, but I want to say it in front of everybody that I'm so proud of all the work that you've been doing, not just this year, but for all the years that you've been doing it. You have been the face of TN, and you have really been one of the only people that I've recognized out there that's actively year after year spreading the word and getting awareness out for TN. And I so appreciate you, Kenzie. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And I want to congratulate you. You have like far exceeded anything I've ever done in my first year doing this. And I know I said this to you last night, but it's just like your strength and your tenacity and your resilience that has allowed you to succeed in this and just go so far. And I am incredibly proud of you.
Thank you, Kenzie. That really means a lot because I've told you that you single-handedly inspired me to do this because you can't do it alone. No one should ever have to do this alone. And
it's really hard to do on your own.
It's really hard. It was hard to do with you. So I can't even imagine doing it by myself. I'm glad that I had to through this whole process. And I can't wait to see what we do next year.
Yeah, it's been nice to have a partner in this. I think we both had several mental breakdowns, but I think we limited them doing this together.
I agree. So let's talk a little bit more about the realness of our mental breakdowns throughout the month and how we kept ourselves sane.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like you're dealing with this pain on top of it. And you know, you have people coming to you saying that they're in pain and you're trying to help out, and it's so overwhelming. And I think making sure that we put our boundaries in and making sure that we take the time to just have Jessica time, have Kenzie time, whether that's just, you know, taking a long hot bath, journaling and getting your thoughts out on paper so you can organize them a little bit better, going for a walk to clear your head. So it's just like those little things that are so important.
What about your video games?
Yes. I I was talking to Laura yesterday and just, having a video game is like being able to escape to a different world and be like, okay, I'm not here anymore. I am not in the world where I have to be in so much pain. I'm in Skyrim world. I'm like fighting dragons. I'm
Exactly. And what about your music? I feel like your music takes you to a different place too.
Yeah, yeah. No, that definitely does it. And I think, just having something else to focus on. I think that distraction piece is so huge where you can just pour your all into a hobby and, yeah, like vacate your mind for a second.
I totally agree with that. And Kenzie and I have been swapping stories of how to keep each other alive through this last month, so to speak. Long hot baths are keeping us alive. Just so everyone knows, you're not the only one struggling this month. The weather is changing. It's Awareness Month. You're figuring out who's supporting you, who's not supporting you. You're figuring out your pain levels. You're figuring out how to deal with the pain. You're figuring out your mental health. You're balancing a lot. On top of all this, we're working.
Yeah.
We're raising families. We're planning for the holidays. Life goes on.
Yeah.
So give yourself a break. I'm saying that to myself too, because I am super hard on myself. I do not allow myself a break at all. And that has to change. We
Yeah.
have to be able to take social media breaks and allow that time for ourselves to recharge so that we can advocate properly.
Absolutely. And I think I was telling Daniel last night, like, it is just really this, like, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second thing. And if we're not allowing ourselves to recharge and rest, we're not giving our people the best care that we can possibly give. And so it's really a detriment to everyone when we don't rest and take care of ourselves.
Exactly. Daniel's saying right now, rejecting your own reality is hard work. I saw Daniel say hi, Mary say hi, Alma
See
say
the
hi.
comment. Oh no.
So
Yeah.
we see you guys out there. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
And we're not saying that we don't want to talk to you guys and we don't want to support everybody. We love supporting you guys. We love being there for others. You guys are there for us
Yeah.
too. You may not know it, but us talking and providing different options and support and even joking, sending memes. Michaela and I were joking around last night, and I'm not gonna lie, my humor has been a little sassy lately. She can put up with it. Kenzie can put up with it. So if you can tolerate, the good and the bad, it's all just part of this disease, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm so grateful that we have this community to lean on, and it is such a, I don't know, it brings you purpose and fulfillment in doing this. It doesn't mean that it's always fun, and it's a lot of work, but it is such a beautiful thing.
Exactly. We have Sonia saying they're newly diagnosed with TN. They need some counseling. Please help. So, what advice do you have for a newly diagnosed warrior?
Newly diagnosed, I would say reach out to all the people, especially in this live. Like, they are so kind. They have been through it. They know what's up, and they can probably give you really good advice. I always tell people that are new to this, like, you are your best advocate. Um, it sometimes takes a while to find the right doctor, but you can ask questions. You don't have to just take what they say as gospel. You can fire a doctor if they're not treating you the best. You know what you deserve, and go out and get it. Essentially, what about you?
Exactly.
What would you say to them?
Um, just along those lines too. Just listen to your body, do what's right. You're gonna get an overload of information, and none of it is gonna make sense to you. So I say take it day by day, just like you said with Daniel before. You have to take it hour by hour, really. Evaluate how your body's feeling. Evaluate what you need in the moment. And like Kenzie said, don't be shy. Don't hold back. This is the time to communicate and get all your feelings out.
Yeah.
Let's go back up through. They asked, how do you know what stage I am? Finding a community is so important. This disease can be so isolating. Oh, so they're in India. We actually have two other warriors in India, so I'll get in touch with you after the live. Just send me a DM, and I'll get you in touch with them. So sorry, I just overloaded everybody. How do you know what stage you're in, Kenzie?
What do you mean stage wise? I can't see the comments, so like...
Oh, you can't see any of them? Oh no. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay. I think they mean like, well, okay, so let's maybe answer it this way. Everybody's TN battle is different. So it's not like a cancer type, you're in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Yes, so they are saying there's type 1 or type 2. And that is different than what stage you're in.
Yeah. So do we want to go into the different types?
Go for it.
Okay, so typical, it usually comes in attacks, so it's not always there. But it can happen one after another, one after another. So typical pain also tends to be a bit different than atypical. So it tends to be shocky, it tends to be stabby, electric, just sharper in nature. Atypical pain is more consistent. It can be constant. It tends to have the qualities of like burning, aching, but it can also have the shocky, stabby tendencies. But I think the key components are just how, I guess, that typical comes in attacks, whereas atypical is more consistent.
Exactly. And Daniel's saying that we have our own grading system. So again, this isn't a normal disease where, you know, one size fits all, so to speak. Everybody's diagnosis and experience is very different.
Yeah. And like, you can have both types, you know, you can have it in different branches. The severity can be different, the frequency, the duration, it can all be different. So the comparisons are difficult with this disease.
Exactly. Somebody is saying, I have visited a lot of doctors that made a lot of exams. After 3 years, they truly think that surgery is not an option.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. And it's not an option for everyone. You're allowed to get a second opinion. But, you know, after a while, you know, just you have to make that decision between you and your doctor.
Exactly. And like Kenzie said, keep reaching out until you get the best answer for your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't stop just because it feels like there's no hope.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of different options to provide you relief.
Yeah.
Yes, there is no cure for trigeminal neuralgia, but there are methods to help you at least get some temporary relief.
Yeah, and I think that's where talking to the community is really good because, you know, we've all tried different things. And again, like it works differently for everyone, but it's a good idea of like what kinds of things you can try out.
Exactly. And somebody in the comments was also saying that, not to mention, we can go in and out of remission too.
Yeah.
So that's important to know, that your pain can come, you know, in spurts. It can last for a week. It can go away for 3 months. It can, you know, I've been in a flare now. I haven't had a pain-free day in almost 17 months now. So everybody's journey is different.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone ever feel like someone is snapping their tongue with a rubber band?
I would be, I would just talk to your doctor because I think tongue is more associated with glossopharyngeal. So that might be something to bring up with your doctor, but I know a couple of people that do experience that. I personally don't, but yeah, that would probably be something to talk to your doctor about.
Thank you for sharing that, Kenzie. Um, Another question is, how good is rhizotomy and gamma knife? I have personally not had either one of those procedures done, so I can't speak to that.
Mhm.
What about you, Kenzie?
I also have not had those specific procedures. I've seen them work really well for people, but again, everyone is so different. And so I'm just preaching again and again, like, you have to talk to your doctor to see what's best for you because, you don't want to make the pain worse, but it is going to be different for everyone. And that's an individual decision.
Exactly. And like Kenzie keeps saying, because it's so important, um, consult with your medical team and find out what is going to be best for you. You're going to hear many different stories in the community of, hey, this procedure worked really well for me, or this procedure really didn't work for me. You
Hmm.
have to take it with a grain of salt and just remember that everybody's body is different, everyone's experiences are different, and something that may have not worked for somebody could work for you.
Yeah, and there's lots of resources out there that go in depth about those kinds of procedures. And I'm sure, I don't want to speak for Jessica, but I'm sure both Jessica and I would be happy to point you towards those resources.
Yes, absolutely. Daniel is saying that occipital is awesome. It feels like scalping. Daniel has some really good descriptive words for the pain that we feel. I love it. And somebody is calling out Emma in the background, my dog. So let's talk more about, um, well, I want to go into something that you and I have been wanting to talk about for a while, and it's kind of a sensitive subject, but it's body image and TN and what that means and what we experience. Do you want to start?
Yeah, for sure. Um, I think this is something I've really struggled about talking about. And I'm probably going to get all flustered again because that's what I do. But yeah, I think when you have TN, your body can change so rapidly. For me, I lost a lot of weight in the beginning, and then I was put on medication, and I gained more weight than I had ever weighed. And not that any of that was necessarily bad and or unhealthy, but my body felt foreign. I didn't feel like me anymore, and I was grieving this body that I knew. Um, and I think when you have a body that's giving you pain all the time, it's really hard to want to show that body love and appreciation because it just doesn't feel like you. So that's kind of been my issue with things. What's been your experience?
Just so you know, Joe is saying hi to you, but Kenzie can't see any of the comments. So I'm her little messenger right now.
Hi, Joe.
Daniel is also agreeing that he so gets what you just said. Um, my experience is really similar to yours. I I lost a bunch of weight at first, and then I gained a bunch of weight due to the medication I was on, and I had weighed more than I ever had in my life, like you said. Um, for me, I was already angry with my body
Yeah.
because it feels like it's attacking me daily, right? And I I'm getting better with it now, and I still have these days where I have these thoughts, but I don't understand why, right? I don't understand why I deserve this. I know I don't deserve it. Um, I it's hard to accept that this is happening to your body and that, like you said, it feels foreign. It feels like it's attacking you. And that's a hard thing to grasp with. And then your physical body is changing. For me right now, I constantly lose weight and then have to gain it all back because I can't eat because of my TN.
Mhm.
Um, I don't eat a lot of meat anymore. You know, I eat mac and cheese and rice and things like that that don't have a lot of calories. And so, you know, it's hard to keep the weight on, and then you're taking medications, and that makes you not nauseous because you didn't eat enough. And it's just this constant cycle.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it leads to other things. Like, I know you were saying, like, you can't eat certain foods now. I was getting vitamin deficiencies, you know? And so now I'm iron deficient and I'm B12 deficient. And so now my skin is extra pale and I have these big bags under my eyes. And the other thing was that I clench so much now, it's changed the shape of my face. This side doesn't work as well now. And I'm so self conscious about it. And even though, you know, other people might not recognize that and see it, I see it. And so I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, that's not me. Like, that is so hard to deal with.
That is, you really brought up a memory that I kind of forgot about. I had a doctor point out to me that my left eyebrow, where my pain is, goes up this side. I don't know why I'm pointing to my right. Um, and now I'm so self-conscious about it. That's how I recognized that my face would swell on the left side. And now I'm always trying to cover my hair over it. When I take pictures, I always try to do on my right side. You know, it's really a lot of, and this all sounds silly and stupid to people who may not be suffering from TN, but the mental anguish that it takes on you is really, really detrimental.
Yeah, I think, you know, you're already dealing with this pain and you're so overwhelmed. And like, you know, we see that in the scheme of things, maybe these aren't big problems, but it's just like that one extra thing you don't need, that like uncomfortability in your own body. Like that is just, it's off-putting, and it's just, it feels like something's off and it's hard to deal with.
Exactly. It's hard to accept. There's a few comments. Well, there's quite a few comments, so I'm going to go back up for a second. Um, Joe added that Mackenzie is my favorite jerk ass friend and I love her. Hope said to wear rose quartz for self love, and I have my rose quartz right here, girl. Um, Daniel said it would be nice if TN picked a different spot.
Not the one that's showing to the whole entire world.
Yes, that would be great. Mary said, yes, such a foreign body now. Weight gain, swollen face, and saggy eyelid. Balancing presence and awareness with health.
Mm-hmm.
Hope said that she lost so much weight, her doctor recommended raw eggs and smoothies too. Daniel said that he got it at age 50. He looked 40 and he aged 20 years and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel actually shared that photo with me before and after surgery, and it's amazing to see how he physically looks so much younger after his neck surgery.
Yeah.
So the disease really takes a toll on our bodies physically, um, inside and outside. I can't find the words to say that.
Yeah. And I think Hope brought up a good point about the doctors, and it just kind of triggered another thought within me, um, of how the doctors treat you differently when, you know, your appearance is starting to change. I know for me, and I really can't speak for people in more marginalized bodies, and so I'm not the expert on this, but I know for me that when I gained weight, I was treated so differently. All of a sudden it switched from, here's what we can do to you, to maybe you need to exercise more. Maybe you need to eat better. And like that was so distressing to hear. Like I got TN when I was 15, like before that, but diagnosed then. And I was the healthiest I'd ever been in my life. And I still got TN. And so to have someone tell me that, you know, if I did something different, like I'm not trying hard enough, I would be in less pain. Like it put the blame on my shoulders. And that on top of everything was so distressing. And it comes back to the other side too, when you lose so much weight, like there's conversations in that as well that are just extremely distressing and unneeding and invalidating.
I completely agree with that. And the pressure that it puts on you, like for me, I can obviously physically tell when I'm losing weight, and I avoid the scale because I know that if I see the number on the scale, it's going to be in the back of my mind that, hey, even though you're in pain, you need to push through and you need to eat a hamburger because you really need it right now. And I I have a hard time saying that after I just said it, because it it sounds weird again to people who don't have TN that I'm making a choice not, you know, to eat mac and cheese over a hamburger because that's going to feel better, regardless of me knowing that there's more calories or whatever. Or let's not even say a hamburger, let's say a salad, something more nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
The crunchiness of the salad would drive me freaking crazy. The coldness of anything drives me crazy. There's only certain things that I can eat. I can only eat on my right side of my mouth. So imagine only being able to chew on that side. Like you said, that side is now compensating for the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this constant cycle of I'm doing this, but then that is happening. And it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot to deal with on top of the pain. And I
Yeah,
think more people, like I wish it was easier to explain to people that are not dealing with this, because it's just those little things that make this disease so horrible and distressing.
exactly. And there's not, you know, a guidebook for TN. There's not recipes that we can go find and make for ourselves. And, you know, after you eat mac and cheese for a week straight, you don't want mac and cheese anymore. You want something different. But there's only four soft meals that you really like.
Yeah.
Um, what are some foods that you like to eat?
Okay, I love potatoes, and I know you're a potato lover too, but like I think because they are soft and you can do so many different things with them, like it's something I don't really get tired of because you can dress it up any way you want. I love like I'll take a tortilla and I'll just put peanut butter and jam in it because it's softer than like bread. I love doing that. Eggs are fun. I get tired of them really easily, but smoothies, I think that's pretty common. But just another thing you can kind of change up. Those are those are my go-tos. What about you?
I love those. That's a really good idea to do a tortilla instead of the bread because bread
Mm-hmm.
really bothers me. Just too much chewing bothers me too.
Yeah.
Um, Yogurt, smoothies. I love my mashed potatoes. Kenzie was just making fries the other day, so we're gonna try that. That looked really good. Um, we just did, I also piggybacked off of the Canadian Thanksgiving and ended up making a turkey dinner for myself. Well, I did not make it, Michael made it. Thank you, Michael. But it was just stuffing and mashed potatoes and turkey and some green beans. And it was really soft and nutritious and easy to eat.
Yeah.
Oatmeal, cereal. I know cereal's a big go-to for you.
Yep.
Soup is a big go-to for both of us. Um, Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel saying sick people don't eat. That's one way to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's another reason to communicate with other people because we have these recipes and we can share them. And that's like in itself just changing it up and helping.
Yes. Mary saying sweet potato. That's a really good one. Um, just so Teresa just joined and she doesn't know that you can't see the comments, but she said that she loves your makeup. um,
It was one of those days where you're like, I haven't showered and I'm feeling gross and I just need to do something. So I really appreciate you saying that.
yes, it's one of those self-care things that we don't leave the house often. It makes us feel good. I always put my earrings on every day and a little lip gloss.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me feel like I'm put together, even if I'm in the house and I'm not leaving.
I love that.
Hope said that her sister blends her dinner like dog food, but it's game changer. Um, I know Teresa had that recommendation for me too, to blend all of my food. Um, yeah, so it's just finding what works for you. And like Kenzie said, reaching out to the community. Don't be shy to talk to all of these people. Everyone that I've talked to has been super nice and super open and vulnerable. And I love this community. I'm so proud of everybody for just being so open and sharing ideas. And I'm just so proud.
Yeah. This is just such a beautiful community. And, you know, I was so scared to reach out at first. And I'm sure there's people going, I don't want to reach out. But this is like the best community you could reach out to. They are so understanding and so accommodating and just they're really good people.
Yes, and everybody has different ideas, like Kenzie said. It's really fun. Laura, I know, has sent me a bunch of recipes that I've shared on my stories. So it's fun to get different ideas. Laura's vegan, I'm not vegan, but it's fun to try her recipes, you know, something that I would never try. Um, and they're really good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's, I think also, again, it's hard to eat meat. And so like having some alternative options that like are actually meeting your nutritional needs without the meat. Um, Vegan meals do a great job of that. So it's nice to have those options too.
Yeah, it is. Teresa's saying that she's blended her food. Blended stews and soups are game changers.
Mhm.
Um, Mary said risotto too. That's a really good one. I actually want risotto now. Thanks, Mary. um, Teresa's saying that eating can be a chore. Um, I can down a blended meal in no time. So that's something to talk a little bit more about for people who don't have TN. Um, I eat half of my dinner and then I have to go smoke weed and then come back and finish the other half of my dinner.
Hmm. I think like one of the recommendations for me was eating smaller, more frequent meals. And that's been really good for not only like my pain, not having to eat as much, and being able to kind of take more breaks, but also like things that come along with the pain, like the nausea. That really helps with that. So that might be something good to try. It's really helped me to do that.
I love that. That's such a good idea. Thank you for sharing that. Um, that would obviously make it easier to not leave half of my plate and then, you know, I can just come back to it later.
And then it's cold, and yeah, yeah, no, smaller, more frequent meals have been a game changer.
That is so smart. See, I'm learning something in just this conversation. What else do you want to chat about?
I'd love to hear like what other people do to kind of boost their mood, boost their self-confidence. Um, I would like to learn something new too because it's, you know, 8 years later, still something I struggle with. So, yeah, I'd love to hear your guys's and Jessica, your kind of things that you do.
Yes. Well, while I chat about that, you guys leave some comments and then I can share them with Kenzie. Um, for me, I've been talking about this a lot this week. I love to journal.
Mm,
Um, I just started journaling in May, so it's something very new for me. Um, and I think it can be a daunting exercise for people. And I think that we see it on social media and we get this kind of idea of how it's supposed to be. And my advice is there are no rules.
yeah,
You do it however you want. You don't have to have a specific kind of journal. I just have literally a blank notebook and I just put stickers on it.
I love that.
And I have more than one journal. This is just my creative journal. I just put all my ideas in there. And then I have a different journal for all my thoughts and feelings. I have a pain journal where I keep track of, my pain and where it's at. And I don't write in all of them all the time. I write in the feelings journal every morning. And that really helps me. It helps me to kind of see where I'm at. It helps me to organize my feelings, like you said earlier.
Mm.
Um, I also like to meditate. Those two things I found I can do no matter what pain cycle I'm in. I used to run and do yoga. Um, I have not ran since October of last year. It is my personal goal to run before the end of the month. Um, but running and yoga is not something I can do all the time when I'm in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find things that would make me feel better, that I could do anywhere, and it wasn't going to affect anybody. I didn't need any tools for it. I can bring a notebook with me anywhere. I was telling Teresa that I journaled on an airplane over the summer.
Yeah,
You can meditate in the car. You can do it anywhere. So just finding things and always adjusting to make yourself feel better.
yeah. I
Um,
love that. I think I need to do that more, just like an everyday, even if it's just a small thing.
exactly. And again, there's no rules. You
Mm-hmm.
can literally write, hey, today was shitty. My pain was high. The weather was gross. Um, I pet a cute dog.
I love that so much.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all you have to write. You don't, there's no rules.
yeah, yeah. I think sometimes, like, we're both the Aquarius brain. It's like there has to be rules for everything. These are the expectations. And I think that's where I'm at with like the blogging is like I have to make it perfect. And I think journaling might help with that in the sense like I can just write a little bit and there's no expectations and it's fine.
Exactly. And nobody's reading it.
Yes.
It's just for you. You can come back to it later. Again, there's no rules.
Mm.
I'm gonna go back up. Hope said that she tries to look in the mirror and say 5 things that she appreciates about herself.
I love that.
I love that. I think that's something really important that I try to do every day, but I'm not good at it. I try to say 5 things that I'm grateful for.
Mm.
Mary said she likes journaling, laughter, baking or cooking, painting, running outside, sending a snarky text to Jessica, and yoga. She also encouraged me to run before the end of the month, which I know I can do it and I'm going to do it. Now that I told everybody, I'm really going to do it.
I'm going to be waiting for progress updates.
Hope also said dog cuddles.
Dog cuddles.
But yes, I love that Mary said sending a snarky text to Jessica. Um, even in that pain moment, just sending a text to Mary or Kenzie or Laura, or sending a message to Daniel or Michaela or anybody out there, Sean, just saying, hey, this fucking sucks. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, or like a meme or anything, it's just it's nice to kind of be like, okay, there's good things happening, there's funny things happening. I'm not just in this like pit of suffering, I'm not alone and the like life is going on.
Exactly. You know what really validates it for me is when I text someone like Mary and I tell her I'm having such a bad pain day, and she's like, yeah, me too. And then she's telling me some funny story about her daughter like licking peanut butter off the counter. And that just sets me off. It reminds me that everybody else is struggling just as much as I am. I don't have kids on top of that, thank God. Um, and it's kind of funny to hear everybody else's struggles, right? Like, not funny in the terms of, you know, haha, that sucks, but we're all struggling, and it's kind of funny to laugh through together. And like, are you going to make it through the next couple hours? Because I'm going to try, but I don't know if I'm going to.
If we don't laugh at it, what are we going to do? We're going to be sad about it. We're going to be miserable. We're going to be angry and crying. Like, laughing through it is such an amazing, beautiful thing. And that, like, this community is so good for that.
Exactly. Erin is saying laugh or cry. It's so true. I was texting Miranda this morning. She said that she was up all night with her kid teething. Um, so just thinking about that, it's like, okay, well, it kind of puts it into perspective, and not that, you know, she's any worse off than I am, but it does make me feel better that somebody else is struggling.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
validating.
Yeah, we're not alone in this. And like as much as that sucks, like I wish no one else was feeling this. It's like I'm not the only one feeling this. And it's like I can breathe again.
Exactly. And knowing that there's other people out there to laugh and cry and even have those, hey, I'm really in a dark place today. Kenzie's gotten that text from me. Hey, it's not really a time for a meme or a quote. I need you to just kind of listen and just be there, and just tell me tomorrow might be better, it might not, but I'm here for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like the video I just did, like that message to the community, it was so common for people to say, hey, I just need someone to sit there and listen for a second. Like, you don't have to give me advice. You don't have to do anything necessarily. Just be present with me. Like, that is so, so nice.
Exactly. To make somebody with an invisible illness feel seen and heard means the fucking world to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It means so much to us that I can't even put it into words. Um, Especially someone who doesn't have TN reaching out and saying, hey, I'm here. Hey, I've been watching all these awareness videos. I'm sorry that you're struggling. If you just want to text me and vent sometime, I would love that. And like you said, there's no pity, there's no explanation. You're just listening. There's no advice needed. Just be there for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay. I think the theme of today is like communicate. It's okay to like ask a person what they need because maybe they do want advice or, maybe they do just want someone to be present. Like, open that communication. Like, that is so important. It's what's gonna take us forward and help us progress is just having an open dialogue.
Exactly. And I think that's another great point to touch on, that communicating when you don't have the energy to.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, hey, and I know this is going to be a little secret message to me and Kenzie. Um, We need to be able to tell people, I have used all my spoons for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be there for you, but right now I don't have the energy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can touch base in a couple days, or I'll touch base with you when I have the energy. I hope you don't take offense to that, but I'm doing this for me.
Yeah. I loved in Miranda's live, she has that Instagram message that shows up that basically says, like, hey, I don't have the energy right now. I'm not ignoring you, but I will get back to you as soon as I can when I'm feeling good enough to respond. And I love that.
I love that too. And by the way, she did send me instructions how to do that. I have not had the energy to get it posted to everybody yet. So I have thanked Miranda so much for doing that. And once I gather the energy, I will share it with everybody because I do think that's something really important to do for all of us.
Yeah.
Hope is saying that therapy is also amazing.
Therapy is the best. Yeah. Yeah. I would be very, very lost without therapy.
Yes, and there are so many options for therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think that because you don't have money or insurance that it's not available to you. Um, there are options. And again, I'm going to volunteer Kenzie, but also with the cautionary advisory that even though Kenzie and I offer our help to everybody, we also would like the understanding that we are also suffering from TN and our normal lives. And we need the leniency to be able to say, hey, I need a little bit of a break.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow on this. Or, hey, not even tomorrow. It's going to be a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Kenzie and I, like she said, we're both Aquariuses. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We love to provide support to everybody, but sometimes it's at most, no, I'm not going to say most of the time. Sometimes it is at our own cost. So that's a takeaway for me that I need to focus more on recharging myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think boundaries for me, it's hard because I just want to help so badly. But I know in the end that I want to give good help, like quality help. And we can't do that if we don't recharge ourselves. And I think there's been some great suggestions on how to recharge ourselves and take care of ourselves better.
Yes, I love that. Well, we are just wrapping it up here. Um, I am so proud of you for all the work you have done this month. And like I said, throughout the 8 years of your diagnosis, I am so honored to know you. I'm so excited to see what the future is going to bring for both of us. I know that amazing things are going to happen for this community because we're all in this together. And I think we all have a common goal to find a cure for TN.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Like this year I couldn't have done it without you, and I couldn't have done it without all of you because oh my gosh, it was a lot. But yeah, it's just always so helpful and validating to know that I have you guys. I truly, truly could not do this without you.
Yes, we could not do it without each and every single one of you. Every single one of you helped us raise awareness. All your posts, all your selfies, all your hashtags, the conversations you're having with people, all of that is just a little step closer to finding us a cure. The more we can get people to understand what this disease is, to even know that it exists, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, we're getting there. One step closer.
One step closer.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Stay strong. If you're struggling right now, know that we all are and know that you're not alone. And if you're in that dark place, if you need help getting out of it, reach out to someone. reach out to one of us. We love you. We're there for you. You're not alone. We're going to help you get through it. And you're going to help us get through it too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a great place to wrap up. Just yeah, love you guys. Appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for everything.
Yes. Thank you for a great awareness month, you guys. Have a great day.